You're listening to Mainstreet Unscripted with myself, Matthew Wallen, and my co-host, Holly Nash.
This is a podcast put on by Casa Grande Main Street, a local nonprofit organization here in Casa Grande, Arizona.
And let us begin. All right. Hello, Holly. It's been a long time coming since we planned on doing this whole podcast, so I'm really glad to be here.
I had a whole baby since then.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. In fact, we started this a couple years ago, I think, that we had the first idea.
Yeah.
And we experimented with a few different things. They didn't work out. But here we are.
Yeah.
So I'm like super stoked to be here. I guess to introduce myself, and I guess you'll introduce yourself. My name is Matt Wallen. I've been a Main Street board member for 3 years or 4. It feels like a lifetime.
I'm going to say 4.
Is it 4?
I think you're going on 4.
But
you've only been a vice president for 2.
We didn't have to bring the vice president issue into it,
yeah,
but well, here we are. So yes, I am the vice president for the Casa Grande Main Street board, and I'm also the grip, the hand, the person that nails things to walls.
Literally.
Yeah, like I go through and pretty much I get told by a bunch of women what to do, and then I do it, which is good, I guess.
I mean, there's worse things out there.
There's far worse things. So, I don't know. You wanted us to do like intros of some sort and tell us like kind of how we got into it, right? I was a reluctant participant. I did not necessarily want to get into any kind of like a board or any of that type of stuff. I've had a passion for main streets and like, I guess like Main Street areas for quite a while. When I was younger, I used to sell antique furniture that I'd salvage and restore in the Orange Circle in California. And if you know the history of the Orange Circle at all, it was featured in the movie That Thing You Do. And Tom Hanks directed that. It might be a little bit more before your time. Okay. I might be aging myself a little bit. But it's a good movie. It's kind of like a take on the Beatles a little bit. But Tom Hanks came in and restored a bunch of the facades of the buildings in downtown Orange, which at that time was kind of a cesspool. It was not a nice place to be. It wasn't family friendly. There wasn't good shopping, good restaurants, any of that. After Tom Hanks did his thing, he left and said, okay, it's all yours. You guys do whatever it is that you want to do. And so some of the owners like took it and ran with it, and they revamped their stores, revamped what they had, did everything so that they took advantage of the facade change. And then Orange kind of took advantage of that, the city of Orange, and they started revamping the whole area. Well, now if you go down there, I mean, it's a tourist destination. It's a place that people that like antique things or old buildings or any of that type of stuff, they go to Orange Circle and they do shop. There's a million different tchotchke shops, antique shops, some specialty stores. But ever since then, I've kind of been like into that whole thing. And so I like the whole downtown areas. And I myself have wanted to be in the downtown area for a long time. So being a part of it is just a natural transition for me just to get involved because I just have a passion for downtown areas as well as I love my community. I want my community to thrive, and I want more of the positive attributes of the things that I had from my youth or from my childhood, and I want to see more of that here. And so that's kind of how I got into it. Holly brought me in kind of kicking and screaming.
Yeah, so let's not forget that it took me like a year to convince you.
2 years. 2 years.
He told me no.
Many times I said no. But it's because I didn't want to do it because I felt like, what do I have to add to it? But as it turns out, it's been actually a really rewarding experience. I really enjoyed it. I really like serving in that capacity, and so it's been fun. So that's how I got into it. Now, how did you get roped into it? Because you grew up here.
I did. Mine's not as touchy-feely. So I did grow up here, born and raised. I did go to Casa Grande Union High School, graduated, and then I went to U of A, got a degree in political science with a minor in history. I thought I was going to work in politics.
See, no, you got out.
I did, but I came back.
But you came back.
I did.
And that's actually kind of a cool thing that you came back, because a lot of people like graduate and they move on. And the adage is like you move on and move out, right?
Yeah.
But you and a few select others that are leading this community have come back.
Yeah, I mean, my family lives here, and I never hated it. Like, I mean, every teenager, angsty teenager's like, oh, there's nothing to do, but like, it's not that bad. Like,
It's not bad at all.
It's not.
So I grew up in Southern California, and I can tell you, like, everyone thinks wherever they are is bad.
Yeah.
And so growing up there, I had kids that said, oh, California sucks. There's nothing to do. Right? And we had a beach and mountains and all this other stuff. So everyone kind of has that notion.
Yeah.
And your community is what you make of it, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Like, so my parents, they both grew up here as well. And my dad does wildlife shows here. So he made us love our community.
Yeah, your dad's a legend.
He is. Wildman Phil, look him up. No.
Oh, free plug, shameless.
No, but I mean, he was so involved that, I mean, growing up, literally, we were with him. So before I even knew about Casa Grande Main Street, I was putting lights on the trees downtown during the streetscape that they redid, 2012.
Nice.
Yeah, so I mean, I was serving in that capacity before I even thought about running the organization or knew it was an organization. But yeah, so I came back. I really thought I was going to do politics in some capacity. I worked a congressional campaign and found out that I was not going to be working in politics. It's a different breed.
It's interesting you say that.
Yeah.
Because, like, doing nonprofit as a director for a nonprofit organization, which you are executive director, right?
Yes.
You're in charge of the whole shebang. Without you, we couldn't do it, right? How do you transition from politics, which is arguably decidedly different, right? And get from that into the nonprofit sector?
So what I did find was I liked policy and I liked government. And I ended up working with the city of Casa Grande for about 1.5 years. So I got my foot in government and found out that is what I liked. But I liked it. I worked for Public Works and I liked that I could easily like impact people, like directly give an outcome. I'm not a very patient person, so
we know this.
Yeah. So I mean, I could do something.
No secret there.
It's not, and it was done. And so I really liked that, and I liked being able to make an actual change. And honestly, what happened was I was a secretary, but I had a bachelor's, and it was a good stepping stone, but it wasn't where I was gonna sit. And I had been looking for different opportunities, and my dad actually came to me with this one and told me I should apply. And I was 22 years old at the time, and I was like, why would they hire a 22-year-old to run a nonprofit?
Little did you know.
Little did I know. They hired me March 6th of 2020 was my first day. So not only was I hired at 22 to run the nonprofit, but...
Especially during COVID, wasn't it?
The next week is when everything shut down.
Wow.
Yeah. So I had 1 week of regular, plus we had the Art Explosion event in Park that fall, like that weekend, and then everything just closed. And I really learned how to balance a budget. I learned some cool life lessons.
Things that you didn't necessarily want to learn per se, but had nothing else to do at that time. But
yeah, and I mean, and it forced me to I really reinvented a lot of things with Main Street because we couldn't do events. We couldn't interact. So it forced me to really research the organization and like read the contracts, read the bylaws, read everything, do a lot of research through other nonprofits, other downtowns, and figure out like what they're doing, what works. So once we were out of COVID, I knew what was going on. So like I had a good year to like actually learn, which arguably might have been better than just getting thrown in and having to keep the same, status quo. I was able to really dissect it down.
And revamp some things, modernize some things.
Yeah.
I know that's been kind of a mantra we've been talking about lately is we want to bring our organization into a more modern era. We've got a younger crowd that's starting to come out and come to our things. And so that's something that you've definitely been focused on for sure.
Yeah. As somebody who grew up here, nothing irks me more than when people only cater to winter visitors. I love winter visitors, but when you live here year round, our taxes are what pay for everything.
And our demographics changing too.
They are. Now we're a suburb of Chandler and Phoenix. Now we have more families. We have more people with disposable income. Plus, just the spending habits have differentiated over the years. So now people want to pay for experiences. They want the cool TikTok videos of cute little downtowns.
Sure.
And so, yeah, we'll capitalize on it.
We have a lot of that. We'll get into a little of that, I think, a little later. But so what are we doing here? Why are we doing this podcast? We've talked about it. We thought it was an idea.
Made me.
Because Matt made me. I didn't make you, but like I know why I thought it was a good idea. But as the director and arguably as somebody that's kind of in charge of our creative and everything else, why are we doing this?
It's called Mainstreet Unscripted. So the goal here is pure raw transparency. With my job, I do have to be very diplomatic. I have to.
Not one of her strong suits.
Arguably, it's great. But, I have to be very poised and diplomatic, and I have to, make sure I'm saying the right things all the time. So with that, a lot of stuff kind of gets lost in translation. So the goal of this is honestly just laying everything out there. If people have questions, I want to be able to answer them. You can definitely explain more when you talk versus when you type. So
True.
We do little Main Street Minutes videos that we hope people are seeing like in their reels and their algorithms. So we're hoping to throw these just another mode of explaining what the organization is. And
sure. I think we're hoping for a little more interaction.
Yeah.
Right? I think that was what we talked about was we want to see more people interacting with Main Street as an organization. Also, a lot of people don't even know what we are or who we are.
People who know us, we're very misunderstood too. So I think one of my biggest goals is to actually
shed some light on some things.
Yeah.
For sure. I think we could do it. I hope that as we go through this whole process, because we're all learning in this whole thing. That's the other part of this. This is our first podcast. We've never done anything like this before.
Matt accidentally gave us spooky voices the first take.
I will screw up many more times, I'm sure. But the fact is I'm the one that has to get all of it done and run a business and do all the other stuff that Matt does. And so, which luckily for me in the organization, I don't have to do a ton. Holly and Stephanie, you guys get a lot of stuff done that I don't necessarily even have to focus on. And that's a beautiful thing. And so whether it gets done the way that everybody approves of or whether it gets done in a way that everyone's happy with, I don't think that's ever going to be a possibility to make everybody happy.
Hard lesson learned.
But we want to do what we can.
Yeah.
And we don't want people angry with us or
I think the purpose of this too is, why do we do the things that we do? Why do we make the choices we make? And I say why do I make the choices I make?
We know why. It's usually you choose rage some days. That's why.
Some days I wake up and it's just
Now, to be fair, you just had your child.
I did. He's 8 months old. He's adorable.
So, yeah, he is actually an adorable kid. I will testify to that. And so that keeps you occupied as well.
Yes.
And so there's a lot going on with that, with the newborn in the house. And in your husband, obviously, you got to take care of him. He's the second baby, right?
Yeah.
And so, like he should be.
And then I actually have an 8-year-old who's probably like the second,
and I was just going to mention, we got an 8-year-old in the mix as well, folks. And so, so you're a dedicated mom and running a nonprofit organization, doing all the things that you do. Sometimes it can get a little overwhelming, and sometimes you don't give the results necessarily, the diplomatic results that people necessarily want, right?
Hey, I can only appease so many vendors at the street fair. I do my best.
That's true.
But there's only one of each spot to go around.
And I'll say the last street fair we had, it was awesome.
I thought it was great.
I've attended as both a vendor and just as an attendee. I've attended, do you hear ringing?
I do.
I hear ringing too. Okay. I think that's taken care of. So, as a vendor and as an attendee, I think the last street fair we had was probably one of the best ones I have been to. It had the best vibe. We could not have asked for better weather.
It was perfect weather.
We could not have had better anything.
Yeah.
I mean, it was really, really good. Even the vendor selection, I think you guys did a really good job curating what was there. So like you mentioned, I try to make everyone happy for street fair. But the point is creating a great event for everybody.
There's integrity to that event. We sell out, and I'd say sell out. We don't actually sell out of spaces, but we only allow a certain amount of vendors. Like we don't have multiples of people selling the same thing.
Right, trying to not to have vendor overlap.
Yeah, because then they're not going to make enough money and they're not going to want to come back. So there's some integrity to the event itself. People travel here a lot of our vendors are not from Arizona. So a lot of them travel here purely to do street fair. Plus then the attendees are all across the state. So it's a very, very well-known event. And so, we got to kind of keep the bar a little high.
It is big. It's probably one of Casa Grande's biggest events.
Yeah.
And to that end of things, I know the numbers came back to us that were a little weird,
They
but
were a little wonky.
because I think we got it like a total from we have an outside service that provides numbers for us, and that service is predicated on or based off cell pings. Is that correct? Do I understand that right?
Yes.
And so I think the number that came back to us was like
It was like 12,000 total, and
I think that was.
I mean,
like,
that's nothing to like shy away from, right? 12,000 people at an event. However, if anyone was at the street fair on Saturday, like
Way
from
more.
11 to 1, like you could barely walk.
right.
So
Yeah, and for those vendors that I know, like food vendors and other vendors that were selling other art that are consistently there, Harrington's, for example, they're one of our people,
Yeah.
and they were selling products. Like everybody was selling products. I don't think I talked to anybody that wasn't. And so, whereas in years past, it's kind of hit or miss depending on what they're selling.
yeah,
So I think your mix was good, and I think that everything that you had in terms of like everything, the only thing that maybe we could, and this is something that we have talked about before, was entertainment, right? And which is something that we will focus on and try to get more of. But it was still good. Like what we had was still entertaining.
Yeah.
It was still captivating. It was still good. And we had some cool ad additions like the bevy cart that was serving the margaritas, and
those
we
were so
had
good.
and we had like, so there's just a lot of things that were there that made the event arguably one of the best that we've had thus far.
We really focused on trying to make a good vibe. You know, vibes attract your tribe.
Yeah. And that correlates with what our goal and our focus is for downtown, right? I
Yeah.
mean, when we talk about the downtown area, we want something, we want to create a vibe. We don't want to be Chandler. We don't want to be Mill Street. We don't want to be.
Nothing can upset me quicker.
I said
Nothing.
I said
And
I
this
triggered
is
her.
why I choose rage some days, because Matt texts me and is like, when can we be like downtown Chandler?
I have never said that ever in the history of what we are. Ever have I said that.
I'm going to get on my soapbox for that one real fast, though, because we will never be downtown Chandler. We'll never be downtown Gilbert, purely because we're not them. Chandler and Gilbert are, that's a main road that you drive through. Same thing with Mill Ave, but Mill Ave also has ASU, so they really don't count.
Sure.
But we're not that. We are a destination. So, you have to get off of I-10 and drive towards it, whether it's on Florence Boulevard or on Pinal, or if you get off on the 8, you have to take Truckler Thornton.
Right.
So like you actually have to want to get there. And so it's a destination. So we are much closer to being on the playing field of like downtown Bisbee, downtown Cottonwood, Prescott even, or Flagstaff. Like Flagstaff is a destination. Now they have NAU as well, but they're a destination. You're not getting there just on a main road. You have to get off and go find it.
Right.
So yeah, I mean, if we're going to compare ourselves, we have to make sure we're comparing ourselves to the right people and then follow that kind of plan to get there.
Well, Casa Grande has its own heritage,
And we do.
and we have our own. I don't want to say unique flavor because it sounds like a negative thing. It's not. Casa Grande has a good hometown feel.
Every community has their own feel, all right?
For sure.
And that's what downtown is supposed to be. It's supposed to, encompass that. Where downtown Gilbert is great to go, but downtown Gilbert's not comprised of old businesses and old buildings. Downtown Gilbert's comprised of new buildings that
Sure.
were
New
designed
builds.
to look like our buildings.
Right. Well, that's the thing.
Yeah.
We have something that everyone we already have it.
Yeah.
People try to mimic it in other downtowns. We're one of the unique places that actually has it. One of the oldest theaters in Arizona is the Paramount Theater.
Yeah.
I think it might be the oldest still up and running. Maybe the second oldest next
I'd
to
have
Birdcage.
to check on that. Yeah.
I think Birdcage is the oldest, and I think Paramount is.
Paramount's up there.
It's
It
up
is,
there. Top 10.
And I mean, we have a bunch of historic buildings. So that's something that 2 predecessors ago of mine, or 3, Marge really focused on. She really focused on the historic preservation aspect of just putting.
And still is focusing.
She still is. Yeah, she's
a powerhouse.
She really is. But the buildings and the signs, she put them on the registries. So, like, our buildings are not going anywhere. If it's on a historic registry, it's not getting torn down.
Right.
That's the other part of being a Main Street, though. We are a nationally recognized Main Street. I don't believe there's any others in Arizona. They're all downtowns.
Right.
Being a nationally recognized Main Street means that we committed to taking the Main Street approach, which is a specific path to revitalization. So you will never see people coming in and just tearing a building down because they can't.
Right.
Especially if it's a preserved or on the registries. Like, there's different things you have to do to revitalize it. You have to work with their bones and you have to improve it. And I mean, good or bad, but I mean, it is what it is. And that's why we do it, so that our history and our heritage is going to be here throughout time.
Well, that's Main Street's mission.
That's Main Street's mission.
Right? Say the mission. Say the mission. Come on, spill it out.
I don't know it word for word because it's very long.
I told you I was going to do this.
I know, but I always just give people like the brief of it because no one wants to listen to a 3-paragraph mission.
Give us the brief.
So downtown, well, we have a vision and a mission. So the vision is that we will be a destination and a bunch of mixed uses. That's a big thing with downtowns, is a mixed use. So you're going to have retail, dining. Hopefully they want some living quarters, which there's some being approved through the city. So
Shh. It's not public yet.
Yes, it is. It's on CG Chat.
Not a lot of people know that.
Oh,
there actually is residential down there already.
And there are. And I mean, most of the buildings, too, that are on Florence Street, not most, but a lot of them have, even atop, they have apartments.
Yep.
And so one of the residents, CG Skate Shop, he had actually looked into living up top, but it was going to be a bunch of renovations and different permits. So,
and it wasn't even permitted at that time.
Correct. But there is that opportunity, so if somebody wanted to come in and do that. Anyway, so it'll be a mixed use area that thrives and is recognized as the heart of the community, with different heritage and beautification and preservation kind of projects.
We have a lot of that.
We do.
That's
so that's the vision, which is how we get the mission of how to meet the vision.
Okay.
Which is Main Street will act as the economic vitality and historic preservation head, and then the liaison between the downtown businesses and the city. So a big part of my job is to kind of meet that gap and do what I can to advocate.
Sure.
And that we will basically, we're going to keep the downtown and we're going to promote the downtown and revitalize it as a whole. And I say that because it's very important. We are a nonprofit. So everything we do benefits the community.
Right.
It is, yes, the businesses sometimes might benefit directly, but everything we do is to meet the vision. So economic vitality is important to a vision, right?
Sure. Well, and everything that we do, like when we talk about stuff like in board meetings and whatnot, everything we do is focused on what's good as a whole for the downtown area. We never specifically try to focus on any one business, and nobody gets an advantage or a nod over another because you're a Main Street member or not a Main Street. We don't care. We're all downtown.
Well, I mean, if you're a member, I typically give you a little bit more of my time.
This is not true. This is back to the diplomacy part.
No, I mean, we do, but we have to have members. As a national recognized Main Street, we have to have Main Street members.
We do.
So as a nationally recognized Main Street, we have to have a public-private partnership. So we have to be partnered with the city. And we'll talk about that in a few episodes later. But we are the city's hand downtown is basically how that comes. But then we also have to have stakeholder buy-in, which comes in the form of membership.
Now, you say that. We don't answer to the city, though, necessarily.
Correct.
We
answer
are an
to our
independent,
members.
an independent organization.
Correct. We're a community partner.
We are not a city-led organization. Even though the city definitively contributes to what we do.
Yeah.
They don't lead what we do, and they don't dictate what we do. They don't want to.
No. That's why 501c3s are made, is to do work without having all of the hoops to jump through. You know, one of the biggest things I can think of is I can go host an event and I don't have to vet 10 vendors to come do my stage and sound. You know, it makes things simpler. And so we do answer to the city in the form of like we get a grant from them, so I have to make sure I meet certain requirements with
But that's the same thing you do with any grant.
Exactly. Yeah. So so we do have members as part of that though. And so and there are perks to being members to some degree, but at the end of the day, I mean, if you're down there, you're benefiting in general. If you're a business located downtown, you're benefiting from the Neon Sign Park. You're benefiting from the street fair. You're benefiting from the Rose Johnson murals.
Now, a lot of people don't feel like they benefit from there. There are a few outlayers that,
True.
And then we've had a few that were outlayers, and then they kind of flipped over and converted. I don't want to call anyone out, but there were a few people that they were against street fair for a long time. And then when they embraced it and they utilized it with the same spirit and vision that we kind of were hoping that they would, and we had to listen to, we had to make some changes and alterations for them. But as we did that, everybody that kind of fills in with that spirit and they take advantage of that, they win.
Yeah. And I mean, my biggest thing is if somebody, you know, is unhappy with whatever it is, I just ask them like, hey, why did you get your building down here? Oh, well, I think it's cute. Okay, well, who do you think keeps it cute?
Right.
Like, who do you think makes that vibe?
Sure.
I mean, it's us. We take care of a lot of the graffiti even. So it's just things like that. I mean, where we don't touch is obviously with policy. So like when it comes to any like criminal activity or anything like that, there's nothing we can do about that.
Right. That's not totally true though. We do help out. We don't have to do anything about that, but there's a lot of contributions.
True. And
that
we
have
do.
made.
And I mean, on that end, that's where policy comes into, right? And being diplomatic. It's bridging that gap between Main Street and
we're
the
not
city.
allowed to say that word for the rest of this episode.
But it's bridging that gap, and it's working with the city, and it's working with the police department, and it's, you know, figuring out what can be done.
Sure.
And you know, we've led a lot of those initiatives.
And a lot of it was in direct response to people downtown.
Yes.
Like saying, hey, why can't somebody do something about this? And members of downtown have organized and tried to do some things as well. But it wasn't until Main Street PD, the city, and the owners of the different businesses.
All the stakeholders, they all have to come together.
Everybody started coming together.
Yeah.
And that's when things started moving, is when everybody worked as in unison. And that's something that, even though it's not necessarily our job to do that, it
benefits the downtown, so therefore
strive.
it is, in fact.
We try.
Yeah.
But anyway, so it's, I think that like over the last couple of years, Neon Sign Park's been huge. We've had a few different things with that come up. I know that there's a bunch of things that got revamped down there. Paul the Waver came back, right?
Yes.
That was a big, huge thing.
Yes.
So, and he's not the OG Waver, right? He's like a replica Waver.
He is Paul 2.0.
2.0, right? Because 1.0,
1.0
unsalvageable.
kept coming unhinged.
Yeah, for real.
Not in a good way.
No, not in a good way. And but we still do a lot of work with that area and have a lot of. In fact, you just did an interview for ABC 7, I think it was.
ABC 15.
15, whichever it was. It's 7 where I was from. Sorry. So they had.
Right.
I know. So they had. And what did they use? They used the Neon Sign Park.
Yeah.
And so it's definitely an attraction. It's something that brings it down. And then we've got the Rose Johnson murals, right? We've got the Doors Through History.
Doors to the Past.
Doors to the Past.
And those ones are all new now. Well, minus one that was still in perfect condition. So
yeah, that one is aged incredibly well.
Yeah, it's great.
I don't know why.
It's like great wine, you know.
Is that what it is? So, and so in those doors went up. They're all new artists.
Yeah.
Some of the old doors they were what 10, 15
yeah.
years
So
old?
well, at this point, 13. They went up in 2013 because in 2023 is when the board voted to they were unsalvageable. And so we the board voted to do new ones and find new artists, which ultimately I think is a great thing, you know, bring more people into it.
Sure.
When they come into it, then they have a sense of ownership. We saw 3 young artists, so that's always great. And the old doors are now at the museum.
Casa Grande Art Museum.
No,
right?
they're at the Museum of Casa Grande.
Oh.
Yeah. So it's just, I mean, like they're still around. But yeah,
I thought one of the doors went to the Casa Grande Art Museum. That was the.
I mean, if they moved it, they moved it.
Was it the John Wayne one?
It might have. I know they were all supposed to go to the museum, but if they got split up from there, because I mean, the John Wayne door was done by Mark White, and he was a real big advocate for the art museum. So it very well could have ended up over there.
And he passed away last year,
Yes.
so that was a big to do.
Yeah.
And he was one of the doors.
Yeah.
He was the John Wayne door. It was actually shot twice.
Not part of the original design.
It was part of an old downtown that was, somebody thought it would be funny to shoot a door of John Wayne shooting.
Yeah.
But, I thought it was going, but I guess we'll have to find out.
Yeah.
So it's terrible that actually neither one of us know this.
I know where I sent it. I just don't know
That's
where.
fair. That's fair. So that's where it ended up, was the Casa Grande Museum, and then maybe it's at the art museum. Find it if somebody out there.
Yeah, let's do a little scavenger hunt. Send me a picture of the John Wayne door.
I will give you $1. I'll take care of that. So, so I'm pretty excited about a lot of the stuff that we have coming up, right? We got a lot of things coming up. We have activity. Is it next week or no, it's in March. Terminus Days.
No, it's February 28th.
It is next week.
Last Saturday of February.
Oh my gosh, it's coming up so fast.
I know. You want to know why I have an event in February, Matt?
Well, tell me why.
Because Matt told me we need an event in February. And I said, okay, let's move Terminus Days from April to February.
Well, arguably, February is a better month for it.
It's so much better for weather. The only downside is I just came off a street fair, so I'm just...
But you're still killing it.
Come March 1st, I'm going to be gone for like 2 weeks.
Wait a minute.
Don't talk to me.
Who's going to direct everything?
It'll be fine.
We'll be fine.
It'll be fine.
We're fine when you took maternity leave. We handled business.
Yeah, I'll pay the bills.
So tell us a little bit more about the Terminus Days thing, because like I know what it is, but when I see people talk about it, I'm not sure that they're completely clear on the activity.
It is a heritage event for Casa Grande. Casa Grande did not have a heritage event, so there's not.
You're throwing out the term heritage event like we all know what heritage event is. I mean, I can deduce the history of our community.
Yes,
like based on our community.
Yes,
got it.
So I mean, Coolidge has Coolidge Days, which is there to celebrate, Coolidge and how they came to be. Being cool. Superior has Apache Leap Mining Festival, which is basically their heritage event as well.
Mm-hmm.
So we host, Celebra Hispanic Heritage Month, which is super great. And then we have all kinds of events, but we never had anything specifically to celebrate Casa Grande. And we have such a cool history. So many people don't know.
I'd like to mention, too, that the Celebra is the biggest Hispanic heritage event in Casa Grande right now.
Yes, it is. It's so much fun.
Yeah, it's a good event, and it grows every year.
Yeah, it's great. But yeah, I mean, Casa Grande has so much cool history, and as a Main Street, it's my job is to know the history and to get everyone else stoked about it.
Sure.
So what better way to do it than through an event? Terminus was what Casa Grande was called before it was Casa Grande. So the railroad was being worked on. It stopped here because it was too hot in the summer to keep going.
Mm-hmm.
Figure.
Imagine that.
Yeah. Well, who knew? So we were Terminus, which meant end of the railroad. And then once they picked up work again and, kept going towards California, then we turned into Casa Grande.
Gotcha.
So, but the event is really to celebrate like the industries that helped create Casa Grande and put us on the
shape
map.
What we are.
Yeah. So, I mean, obviously there's the 5 C's of Arizona. Do I need to recite those? Do you know what they are?
No, but you know what?
All right.
I think I know what they are. Hold on. Let me see. I think I know. So I'm a transplant, but I've been here long enough. I should know this. Okay. Cotton, copper.
Yeah.
And cool old people. No, wait, that's not the third one. I don't know what the third one is.
So you have copper, cotton, citrus, cattle, and climate.
Those are 5 C's. You said 3 C's.
I said 5 C's.
Did you say 5?
I said 5 C's.
I wasn't listening.
So 5 C's of Arizona. That's okay.
I knew cattle was part of it because we have a lot of dairy.
Yeah.
And we smell the benefits of that.
Yeah, we do.
And dairy farmers, what they smell cow crap, they smell money.
Yeah.
Right? And I knew cotton because we have cotton fields still. I did not know citrus was a big thing.
I don't know where they're at, but...
Well, I know Santan, like up in northern Pinal County.
Yeah.
We used to have a ton of orange groves. There's all houses now.
And I mean, like, to be fair, as somebody who likes to garden, the citrus plants do survive in Zone 9B very well.
Zone 9B.
We are 9B, not 9, 9B.
That's very specific.
Hey, you gotta know. But I mean, and they do so well because of the climate. So we do our best. So the event initially last year, we had tours of the Kaywood Cotton Farm and then the Cactus Copper Mine.
Mm-hmm.
So, or Cactus Mine, but it's copper. They were super active and helped build our workforce. And so it had closed. It was years ago. It had closed, and then about 4 years ago, Sonoran.
Almost 5.
Maybe 5. Yeah, I forget how long I've been doing this.
Well, they've been talking about it for a while.
Yeah, they have.
Like even before I think you took over, they've been talking about it.
Yeah, and I mean, something with mining is that like the very end result is when you actually get the copper out of the ground. Everything leading up to that, like there's so much work that leads up to that. So they are technically active, but they're not producing copper because mines only produce once they're like
at the end.
At the end.
That thing.
Yeah.
I'd heard that everything financed and everything that they pay out for a mine, they don't pay, like it doesn't pay off until like the very, very end is when they actually make the money.
Yeah.
And so it's like millions of dollars are
Yeah.
spent, but they don't recoup any of that
until
the very,
Yeah.
very end.
Yeah. And so, I mean, it's a very expensive industry, right? But it's
And we
profitable.
have 2 mines
We
here.
do. So we have, so with Terminus Days, we're going to have tours of Cactus Mine because it is the open pit mine. So the tours are, you'll start downtown, you'll get on a bus, and you have to ride the bus there. Liability, we can't have you driving out
You do
there.
have to be 18 and older.
You
by the
do,
way.
or they did lower it to 13 with a guardian.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's good news.
It is good. Closed-toed shoes, no Crocs, they don't count.
It is an
And
active working
yes,
mine.
it is not like the Bisbee mine where it's like made for tours. So
Right.
it is active, it is working.
You will not ride a train.
Unfortunately, it is not ADA accessible because it's a working mine.
Correct.
So just there's, and I mean, if you have issues walking, just it's a mine that they're pulling copper out of. So you get on the bus, you ride it to the mine, you do a tour, and then you come back. And once you come back, I mean, there's 4 different tours, so you can pick and choose where you.
How
what
long is the
time.
tour going to take?
The tour is just under an hour. So the times to leave downtown are 9:15, 10:15, 11:15, and 12:15. You'll get out there 15 minutes later, so 9:30, 10:30, 11:30, 12:30, and then it's about an hour, and then you come back.
Nice.
And
You never really get an opportunity to tour the mine
No.
otherwise.
yeah, no.
So this is like a really cool event that you've negotiated
Yeah,
and figured out. And the mine, Cactus Mine itself is being super generous in providing
they really are.
the tours for that.
Yeah, absolutely, and they're free. So I mean, not only is it a tour, it's a free tour to the public.
Yeah, that's really super cool.
Yeah, and then when you come back, we have Ivanhoe Electric, which is the other mine, but they are an underground mine, so you can't tour their mine.
Right. You probably wouldn't want to anyway.
Probably not.
Yeah, activate the old
just
claustrophobia.
go walk, you know. And then they're gonna be down there with Terminus Days with their equipment supplier GSJS Services, and they'll have some mining equipment. Last I heard, they were thinking about a bulldozer, but they'll have like a big old water truck, a big drill truck.
Last year they had crazy huge mining equipment there.
And I think they're gonna add more this year.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. That's going to be very cool. The kids will love that type of stuff.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And then the University of Arizona will be there as well. I believe their mining engineering program. They'll be there with some like mineral demonstrations.
No, that's cool.
Yeah, it's a little over my head, but what you said.
Yeah.
But I gathered
You are just a Casa Grande director,
You know,
executive director for Main Street.
and my
you know?
degree was BA, not BS.
Oh, wow.
Bachelor's of Arts.
So moving on. So Terminus Days, they got the tour, they got that, and then we have a bunch of activities for the kids and the family. So like, just because you can't do the tour, there's still a lot of
definitely
heritage
come
events
out.
to do.
There's still so much, especially if you have kids. We have bounce houses, blow up games, yard games. We have 5 or 6 different crafts, and we really tried with the crafts. They're not like little cheesy things. Like we really tried. We have some cotton bouquets. So like super trendy right now, right?
Yeah.
We have like lots of greenery, some pieces of cotton to
They
put
doing
in
the hat
them.
parade this year?
No, this year we partnered with Art Mobile. They're doing faux stained glass.
Oh, okay.
And so she's making like a photo backdrop based on old pictures of Casa Grande.
Okay.
And that have been turned into look like stained glass, but it's with like a different kind of product.
How do they do that?
I don't know.
I guess we'll have to find out.
Yeah. It sounded super cool. So it's like an art gallery, a local art gallery as well.
Nice.
Yeah.
And then a lot of the businesses will be open.
They should
during
all
the-
be.
They should all be. And then I know that we have a new restaurant coming in Poor Therapy.
Yes.
And they're going to have their yard open, right?
I think so.
I think that's what I had heard.
Yeah.
And then if you don't know, there is a new restaurant coming downtown.
Yeah. It's a
That's-
restaurant and bar called Poor Therapy.
It'll be cool.
They
Free
should-
plug for them.
Yeah, they
You're
should
welcome.
be opening, I think, any time. I think they're just waiting on some permitting.
Yeah. It was delayed. They had a lot of different things. The building, because it's an old building,
Yeah.
and they have preserve heritage and whatnot.
Yeah.
They ran into a lot of complications with that, as I
Yeah.
understand it. So Rusty Riggs is the owner for Capital T,
Capital R.
Capital R, and he.
It looks beautiful.
I know he does a great job on that
Yeah,
type of stuff.
it is a beautiful area right now.
Nice.
Yeah.
So, all right. Well, there is a couple other things that you wanted to get into, I think, which was we wanted to talk about one of our Main Street members, which is Casa Collective.
Yeah, so in Casa Grande, we don't have like brunch locations, right? Well, we have like you can go get breakfast at Cookie Jar Big House, but you can't get a mimosa.
Oh, very important.
It
Got to
is.
have the mimosa.
Mimosa or Bloody Mary?
It's not brunch without a mimosa.
It's not. And so Casa Collective just started opening on Sundays for brunch.
Nice.
So they're opening. I believe it's based on the food trucks. So like this week it's 10 a.m., but I believe it'll go back to 9 a.m. in a couple
All
weeks.
this talk of food's kind of making me hungry a little bit.
I know, I'm really hungry. Maybe I'll go to Casa Collective when we're done.
Right. So, and then, so Casa Collective is open for brunch on Sundays.
Yeah.
Sundays only from 10 to 7?
Yeah, but they're also open Tuesday through Saturday as well for just lunch and dinner.
Nice.
Yeah, super cute area. You talk about revitalization. They took a building that was like deteriorating and falling apart and infested with everything under the sun.
It was infested.
It was horrible, and it is the cutest little pub now.
Yeah. Full bar.
Full bar.
And then they do a unique thing in that they don't have
They don't have a
restaurant
kitchen
or a
for
kitchen.
food.
They've got food trucks.
Yes, and so the food trucks though are, and two of them are like tied there at this moment, like
Correct.
they're set there. But then they have some that rotate in and out. So like you'll show up and there'll be 2 to 5 different options of food.
And they've always got something going on.
They do. They have different arts, like different paint nights. They have like a pinning scorpion night coming up in March.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah.
So the people that do that are awesome. They do all kinds of bug things.
Oh yeah, I'm supposed to
And-
get them with my dad because my dad has lots of things that die.
Oh yeah, you guys, there's some cross connection
There is.
there.
I saw the scorpion. I was like,
Yeah, it's right up the valley for sure, and they love the bugs. The and a lot of people think Casa Collective is they think, oh, that's on the other side of Florence, but that's part of downtown too.
it is. So downtown, the downtown district's actually relatively large. You increase it to increase the density. There's just different reasons that you increase it.
Geopolitical reasons that we don't
yeah.
really care about.
But they are downtown.
We, the audience.
So the downtown goes from Treckle to 5 Points, Pinal. Sorry, speak regular people terms, to Pinal. And then it goes from Main Ave, which is south of the
In
tracks.
5 Points is the area where
where Pinal meets Florence Boulevard.
Correct.
Yeah, and then it goes up to 9th. So
So that includes Evergreen District,
some of it.
a little over half of it, right?
Yeah.
Carmacnat
Carmacnat
is just outside of that.
Yeah, so like Badillans and Casa Collective are both on 8th Street.
Okay.
Those are basically like the last of the businesses that fall into the downtown.
Got it.
Yeah.
So in the downtown area, we have Casa Collective, Badillans, Cookie Jar,
Big
House. Soon we'll have Poor Therapy.
And then the old Eva's building is turning into Casa Palomino. So they're moving here from Coolidge. Well, they're opening a second location here. So they're currently in Coolidge. They are super good.
That'll be a good addition.
It is Mexican food, but I'm not even mad.
No.
Love good Mexican food.
For sure.
Yeah.
No shortage of Mexican restaurants in Casa Grande.
Except I'm so picky that really we did need another one.
Okay, that's fair. I was bummed that Eva's closed. They had a
I
burrito there that I
love
loved.
their chips and salsa.
So, but here we are, right?
Anyway.
Let's talk a little bit, shifting a little gears, and this will be probably the last thing we can, because we're running out of time, is Space 108.
Yeah,
I know
baby.
we can do a whole episode on the saga that is Space
We probably
108.
will, but let's just give it a brief overview.
All right.
Because Space 108 it's my work baby, not my physical baby, but
It's her baby.
it's my work baby. Yeah, so what, like 3 years ago, one of the biggest things with downtowns, right, is retail. And so everyone wants more retail downtown. And you definitely, what you see in downtowns, especially downtowns like ours, is people going in together. You see collectives, more or less. You check out downtown Prescott, you're not typically seeing just like one brand.
Right.
Flagstaff, different story, but Flagstaff is a college town.
Or Prescott, which has an ice cream store on every single row.
Yeah.
And then a bar adjacent to that. And
you
then
need the ice cream after you drink the whiskey.
Well, apparently.
And then you're so whiskeyed that you go buy some antiques.
Right. And you come home with strange objects. Yes.
It works. But yeah, so you find these like collectives. And so with our downtown, we were kind of lacking in retail for a while. Now, currently, we have more retail than I think we've ever had.
Yeah.
Most of our businesses are, in fact, taken up. But even with our new retails, Rose Love, the shop with Meats and Sweets and East Sugar Rush, it's collectives.
Mhm.
And so anyway, 2 years ago,
They're
Main
not
Street,
one. When you say a collective, that means there's not one owner in the space, or there's not one
it's
business.
like multiple
It's a collective of
brands or
businesses.
multiple businesses in there. Yeah.
Correct.
And most of them are like homemade mom and pop stuff
Mhm.
because, again, that's what people want. People, as much as they love Amazon, they also want to go buy something that's like unique and
Sure.
homemade. So Main Street, we saw there had been a bunch of vacant buildings. And so we were trying to figure out a way to bring retail downtown and help fill these vacant buildings. So we created a business plan basically that would fit to go into a vacant building where,
Adjacent to our office.
well, that's where it ended up being. But the plan that we made was for anywhere.
Oh, right. True.
But we ended up, Space 108 is actually located at 108 West 2nd Street, right next to the Main Street office of 110.
Mhm.
And so it became available, and we figured, what better place to test it than right next door.
Yeah.
We also share a patio, which is a big part of that. We have a revitalized patio down there. So it's designed
Which
to
is
be
available for use. If you have a great idea or an activity or a
Oh,
thing that you want to
absolutely.
do, we encourage.
Yeah.
Use our patio.
Yeah, it's cute for baby showers, little brunches, whatever.
Whatever.
Yeah. And so with Space 108, it's a retail business incubator,
Mm-hmm.
which has a few different meanings. So it's not, we don't let one business come in and just grow. The goal is that we have multiple businesses in there who either are thinking of starting out and want to take on the risk without the cost of a building of their own, or people who do different markets and want to have like a stable location that they can send people from markets like, hey, here's my product at this location. So it kind of grows it.
And we've had people that have come in
Yeah.
and also figured out too that
The brick and mortar is not for them.
doesn't work for them.
Yeah,
Doesn't work for
and
them
that's
all.
great that they learned it in Space 108 versus getting a brick and mortar.
Instead
and
of being
putting-
thousands of dollars in debt or ruining
Yeah.
their life savings or something like that, they spent a few $100s each month.
Yeah, so
If that.
yeah, I think rent is $150.
It's 200. I
It's
think.
200 now. So initially when we started, we gave the
When the
first
introductory
vendors
thing.
like 150, but it's $200 a month, $200 startup, and then just 12% of sales. So, and the 12% of sales goes to cover.
It goes right back in.
It does. So
It doesn't benefit Main Street.
Main Street staffs the store. Main Street pays the electricity. We pay the rent. We pay the water, the internet.
Anything that goes wrong in the building up to $1,000, we have to cover.
Yeah. So like we take that risk off of the board for a lot of businesses.
And not to mention, we also built out the space. It's super cute.
It's super cute, super modern. And
And don't forget, we have that patio.
yeah, come use it. So we are looking for vendors though. So if anyone's like if they think they want to start out, I understand that the cost might seem high, but if you compare it to anywhere else where you might start out, like it is very low. Plus with us, we're going to help you. We're going to help you get licensed. We're going to help you with anything. If you have questions about, your city business license, if you
Sure.
have questions with your TPT, if you have taxes questions. I just helped a lady file her for her 1099s because this is the first year she got one. And so like good for her,
Nice.
she finally sold enough to get a 1099.
Nice.
That's real nerd talk for anyone who doesn't know. I mean, she sold enough money to pay taxes on it.
Well, that's a good thing.
Yeah,
That
it
shows
is.
growth.
It does.
And yeah.
Yeah. And then we also help with marketing. So we market the store as a whole. We don't market the individual businesses. We expect the businesses to market themselves.
Yeah.
But we do put money behind it. We've ran ads in Arizona Drive Guide, Pinell Central, Facebook Marketplace not Marketplace, but Facebook ads.
Yeah.
So we do promote it. And yeah, I mean, it's a cute little area. It is small, but so far, like it's worked.
Well,
It means that you don't have to staff as much product either. Because I think sometimes businesses go in and it's a big space and they're like, wow, I don't have enough product for that.
Anybody
Like-
that has retail,
Yeah.
and I can tell you that retail is very expensive.
Yeah.
And if you want to get into something that you have a product that you want to sell products, however that works out, to have your own space is massively risky, and it costs a lot. If you don't sell whatever that, you're always looking at it from a term of, or I do, from a term of like, I'm like a squirrel and I got to gather I've got to gather nuts for the winter. Okay. I'm not kidding. And so, you always hear about, well, that's a big nut to cover, right? Well, and that's that thing is you got to squirrel away funds to cover the slow times and things like that.
Main Street's got the nut covered.
And that's right. We got your nuts covered. So that's basically what we're saying. And we've taken away a lot of the risk. And in fact, I would say most of the risk. You at the worst figure out it doesn't work, and the worst you can spend is a couple $100 a month.
Yeah.
And
I mean, we do
to figure that out.
require we require at least a 3-month,
6
month.
I think it's 6.
I think, yeah. And we do require that you work too.
And there's confusion because we're in the middle of revamping.
Yeah,
some
we
of this
are,
stuff
because
right
we
now.
just kind of we just finished the first 6 months. So
Yeah.
and I mean it's a project, so we're going to change it to meet the needs. And so we initially had to where they had to work, vendors had to work 1 day a month. We're changing it to a total of 24 hours.
Mm-hmm.
Because
I like that, the hours.
it's an hourly thing, because some of these people have full-time jobs.
More than days.
Yeah. And so if they can work a weekend, great. But if they want to come in at night and, restock or clean or, help with those things, like that saves everyone money too.
For sure.
Because we're going to pay to have it clean. But I mean, like, taking ownership is really what we're wanting.
Yeah.
Because if it's your spot, you're going to be there cleaning. You're going to be there moving things around and making it look nice. So we just want people to have that ownership, because it is theirs. Like, we're providing the space. It's the vendors.
And we love people with a collaborative mind too.
Yeah.
People that are looking for they want to bond with their fellow vendors. They want to do something with their fellow vendors.
Yeah.
And there's a real synergy. I think this is kind of a small representation of what I would like to see the downtown area be. More collaborative and working together. And
Definitely.
it's going to be impossible to not have everybody have different opinions and stuff like that. I don't think we were going to ever achieve that, but I would love to see more of that collaboration where it's like, okay, Terminus Days. Okay, what heritage events are we doing as a business? Or we come up with, some kind of a meal for that day as a restaurant, or do I have a special for Terminus Days as the shop?
I think that just comes with growth, though. And I think, and maybe just not growth, but I think that it comes with, I mean, a lot of the businesses who are there are established, right? So what they've done has worked.
Yes.
So I think that they have to see that it's worth the change, to do something different. 'Cause
Sure.
I mean, that's scary. But I think that it'll come with, as things get successful, then people are less scared to jump in and to participate.
We've had a lot of them that have.
Yeah.
Like I said, there was a few that were kind of resistant at first. They've come around and they've started embracing that same collaboration. And I mean, we're kind of coming full circle on this whole thing of where everyone's working together. And because that's all we want. We just want to work together with everybody. And we just want to make it so that we all have the same goal.
Oh yeah.
And it's all to make downtown a better area. And we're all there and we're involved in it because we love it.
Yeah.
And we all
it is
want more.
it is a job of passion.
For sure.
Let me tell you.
For sure. I mean, my pay is crap. I just want to mention that, okay? I get very low pay for this. I get zero, nothing, not a single thing. So,
I'm
but
barely above that.
I'm barely above that. I think considering, no, I'm kidding. So, I just love doing what I do. I love working with the downtown area. I think our staff is good. I think our board is good. I think that I'm really
and I mean, we're
stoked.
growing both of them too, which is always great.
That's true. We just brought on, we
have
three.
three members who are wanting to join. So the process to be a board member is you have to attend X amount of meetings, but they're super involved already. So.
And they were already kind of contributors.
They were. We kind of just roped them in.
So
Same way I did with Matt.
I got sucked in.
It happens.
So, how do we put this thing to bed?
I hope that there was something in all of this that maybe somebody came away knowing something different.
Well, that's our goal. So moving forward.
Like I said, it's unscripted.
What we want to hear from you.
Yeah.
From our audience. If you think that you have an idea or you have something that you want to bring to light or that you have.
Even a question, do you want to know?
Whatever. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
We want to talk about it.
Yeah.
And even if you want to bitch at us, we don't care.
I love it.
Please bring it on. We don't get everything right, but our heart is in the right place. We do want what's best for everybody. And again, we want to work together with everybody that we can, and we want to see success for everyone.
Yeah.
And so with that, I don't think I have anything else for this episode.
No, I think we're good. Let me.
Fantastic. Well, I hope that we'll catch you guys in the next time. We're going to do this podcast, what, monthly? Is that what we're...
Yeah, I think our
what
goal
the
is
plan
monthly. Maybe if we get real ambitious, we'll drop 2, but we're busy people.
Yeah, I think monthly's ambitious
good. Yeah.
for now. And so, but if the need arises or you guys fill us with questions, whatever the case may be.
Yeah, the more input we have, the easier it's going to be to make an episode. So
Yeah,
definitely.
that's our whole goal, is to do that type of thing. So I guess with that, the
Yeah.
music's playing.
Oh.
That means it's time for us to bail. But thank you for joining us for this episode and our first, and hopefully we'll do many more after this. And again, if you have questions, comments, feedback, whatever you can do to get rid of the old guy, I can understand why. And with that, I thank you very much. Have a good one.